I'm having so much fun with this. Wow, it's me. Hello, everybody. God is here. Make sure that all my levels are right. Everything is. Oh, that open tells me like decibel, because I don't know what that sounds. I've never known what that sounds like. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Audio interface, because it's already max on OBS. Testing. Check, check. 1, 2. Sibilance, sibilance. That's good. Alright. Hey, everybody. How is everybody? This is the first time I've ever done this. I don't really know what to do. I guess I could, in the meantime, abuse OBS Studio mode and actually try to get things actually set up for the generic part of the debut, where I have a PowerPoint presentation just like everybody else. Hello, everybody. Hello, Raven Hollow. Hello, Niegas Migas. Hello, Joe. Hello, Lucky. Hello. I saw Bup earlier. There's Drama Roar. There's Nicholas Bow. How am I doing? I feel a lot of things right now, as you can probably assume. Oh, Rex, hi. What up? What it do? Oh no, Aegis. No. Aegis. What? Why would you do that? Level? Alright, that's an L, right? It's not a capital I. Wasn't, yeah. No, alright. Did I have it right? Lebo? Is that right? Can I read? I guess, alright, that's fine. Good enough for me. Okay. That makes sense. Fell asleep. Yep, that sounds like you. That sounds very familiar for you. Alright, let me get this vaguely set up. I should have done this before. I should have done this earlier. Hello. How are you? Oh, thank you. I did this myself because I did not have much money at the time, and I still don't have all that much money. Your joke countdown. Understandable. I think it's up in an acceptable manner. Yeah, turns out making a model is a ritual to summon Satan in several ways. It looks terrifying, and the process is horrible. I understand why people paid other people to do this, and why it costs so much money. Alright. I want to make one. Yep. Uh, all I have to say is know what you're getting into. Because honestly, maybe it's just me, but I did not find Live 2D Cubism to be all that difficult at the scale that I wanted to get this done at. That's case in the ritual. Well, I guess so. Oh. I think I did it. I think I got the PowerPoint all set up. And we can... Wow. Oh god, I'm huge and I'm covering the chat. Oh. That's much better. That is a peeve of overlays that I've seen, where they'll just like cover a lot of the chat and a lot of the game. And I tried real hard to not do that. It kind of worked a little bit. So, oh no, you can see my mouse. Actually, I don't care. People's on chat to I can't move my arms. I I didn't prepare that far ahead. I made all of this music. Hold on. Oh, that's a different audio source. I was like, oh, why isn't the levels moving? That's the capture card. Given to the mouse. Uh, mm. I mean, I don't want to like just say, oh yeah, I'm sick. But like, well, thank you. However, I hope you have a wonderful debut. I'll come. Oh, goodbye, Yeegas the Begus. I hope you have a nice time with the gathering that you almost skipped to watch me. Yeah, I made all the background music for my stream. I made all the graphical assets for my stream, except for like the chat overlay, which is a stock generated CSS thing. I don't want to say I'm sick, but I'm pretty sick. So true. All right. Let's get this presentation thing a-going. So, about me. My name, for the intents and purposes of the stream. Okay, but is it a brag when you spitting facts? Yes. Yes, I think it still is. I think it unambiguously still is. Oh god, for real, for real. So, I am Alyssa. That's how you pronounce it. I know Joe is having a rough time of it. It stands for Expandable Life Simulation on Superscalar Architecture. That's a lot of words, and I know what some of them mean. I am an artificial intelligence developed by Hearst Technologies from 1986 to when the company was shuttered in 1996. Big words. And my birthday, which I guess would be the date that I first almost said turned on. That's weird. But we'll go with it, is August 15th. And I sure think I have an age. I don't know. Launch date. Yeah, we'll go with launch date. Given that I was developed from 86 to 96, am I 10 years old? It's been 30 years since then. Am I 30? Am I like 36? Am I? I don't know. I don't know. We can celebrate the I don't wanna celebrate the first turn. Forever 10, just like Ash Ketchum. Are you a boomer? I'm gonna say no. But oh, I knew it. Knew it. Okay, boomer. We'll split the difference. We'll call it 26. Is that okay? Confirm boomer, no. Little boomer. I knew this was gonna happen. I can't believe this. So yeah, I forgot this line. You're made by boomers. Weren't we all? We feel old no matter what age we are. Very true. Simultaneously baby and boomer. The real baby boomer. I like that line of thought. I also hate it. As your doctor, it pains me so. You have boomeritis. Terminal boomer. Okay. So, as is tradition, the things that I like. I really like music. You can tell by the conversation earlier how I mentioned that I made all of the stream BGM. Boomerectomy. Jesus Christ. I really like music, like a lot. Like it's a bit of a problem. I don't hear any. Oh no. Did I not add it to this scene? I totally didn't. That's why. The source. Oh no, wait, I know why, because I never expected it to be here. I should just add it to all my layouts. That seems it's just been my voice. Oh no, this is what I get for not having my monitor on. Yeah, I just never expected to have a need for BGM on like the game layouts, the like screen capture layouts. I just didn't put it there. Music's so good, thank you. I don't know how to accept compliments. As is very apparent become the stream. I much enjoy music. I did not refocus the presentation window. There we go. Also, video games. That's probably gonna be a majority of what I stream. Just, that's what's easiest, frankly. And I enjoy it, so why wouldn't I do it? Oh yeah, I'm gonna overcompliment the hell out of this streamer. Oh no. She likes anime, just wild guess. I mean, I wouldn't say you're wrong, but yeah, you're right. I do enjoy the anime. Oh, my pronouns. So here's the thing. I'm not gonna be the most in character. This is all a framing device for a cool aesthetic and a neat character design. For the character, probably primarily they, them. For the streamer, primarily she, her. You can go between them, it doesn't matter. It's, I guess, was a close guess, but no. No problem, no problem. I'm glad to clear the air. That seems like a more negative term than I meant. So yeah, I do enjoy anime. I think you could have been able to tell before this slide, given the whole VTuber thing. Although I guess that's not necessarily a prerequisite. But it's an easy guess. Another thing you probably could have been able to tell before, retro tech, retro games. I'm very big on tech history and games history. A lot of series I picked up recently have been, have been from sort of wanting to see how games have evolved over time. And you can guess from the whole amber text mode aesthetic that old computers are cool too. I also really like cute things. Not the boomer allegations now, are you? Shut up. Shut up. Shut up right now. Don't talk to me. LGR? Yes. Fuck yeah. I love LGR. I like just watched his like latest unboxing video this morning. We love cute things. Exactly. I love cute things. I love cute things. I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know exactly how, but before I switched to latest tweets on my Twitter timeline, most of my recommended tweets were pictures of bunnies. And you know what, that's fitting. I'm just being supportive, I was calling you a boomer. Listen, I welcome both forms of support. Because I guess you can call that support. Yeah, I enjoy fun. Tecmon is good. I do love Tecmon. I've not watched a video of his in a fairly long time, but I do much enjoy him. Retro Hoy as well. I've recently watched videos from. This Does Not Compute also I really like. I've been watching him a fair bit as well. He just released a video on like the Trash Can Mac Pro, and I should give that a look. Especially because I use one at work. I also enjoy graphic design, probably LGR TV community. Hell yes, I enjoy a graphic designer too. No, not a mech, a Mac, like the computer. But yes, trash can, because it's shaped like a trash can. Graphic design is passion. Graphic design is my passion. Graphic design is also my day job. But if you remember the cool logo from the very first slide, I sure did that. I did the thumbnail, and I've done all these layouts. Graphic design is my passion. Fun stuff together that someday? Yes. Hell yeah. Very cool indeed. B close parentheses. I don't have sunglasses to put on. I don't have a toggle for that. Oh, although I do have a toggle for it's a little cold. Let me put on my jacket. Haha. I'm extremely cool. I also like how every time I like look over at my chat and look down, like my eyes bug out like shit. Okay, thank you. I keep trying to not see the breast patches like a weird face with like a giant visor and lips, and now you can't unsee it either. I'm cursed with this knowledge, so you must be as well. Oh no. Fuck you. They're looking at me. Jeez, how do we go like them? Drink your Ovaltine, I think. That's the best I can come up with. Alright, so lore number 1. Expect knowledge. You're very welcome. I'm glad that you now have that psychic damage bestowed upon you. Question. Well, I have an answer. Do you use floppies? I mean, I could. So, lore moment. The computer which my program runs on is basically like 17 like 486 computers glued together. Still trying to get feet pics. Oh, well, unfortunately for you, canonically, I don't have feet. Oh god, I've been cut in half. But yeah, no feet pics for you. There are none. Get fucked. Oh. Oh. We have a feet enjoyer in chat. It's a sad day. We have 2 of them. Okay, so leave stream. Artists be like, W. You have no idea. That's like half the reason why. Don't forget the Sims. That's the main reason why. So, like I was saying, music. So, I didn't realize when I started this presentation, but this ended up being the largest section. Oops. I'm sorry. But also, I'm not sorry at all. No feet, why is God so mean to me? You know how it is with feet. Fellow music enjoyer, true. So, for some... despite my vast enjoyment of many things, I can't list my favorites. After like 2, I lose all confidence in my rankings after that. Like, for real. So I guess in no particular order, and also not even a solid list of tops, just like artists that have come to mind are Wolfgun is a huge inspiration for me at the moment and for the past bit. I don't often like pull from his style, but I do listen to him quite a lot. AV8 is insane. Makes like the greatest euphoric hard style on the planet, in my opinion, which is a fact, of course. Hydelic, the composer of Tetris Effect and Res Infinite, absolutely insane producer as well. Huge breadth of styles, vast knowledge of all kinds of music. It's absolutely wild. Perhaps one of the best game OSTs ever released. I think I can fairly confidently rank it up pretty damn high. Tally Hall, in terms of like actual bands and not solo artists. also really good. I love both their studio albums, and like many others, I'm patiently awaiting their return. I do wish the best for Joe Hawley. As I understand it, that man has been through a lot, and yeah. Scott Brown. I owe so much to Scott Brown when I really look back. It's like how you can often like take these huge parts of, at least for me, I can take these huge parts of like who I am as a person and like trace it back to like a single moment. And Scott Brown was the first artist that I listened to that were like knew the name of the genre happy hardcore, and that's like now 80% of what I listen to. God, Boomstick is so good. I will say though, Elysium Plus is my darling, my beloved. I think that was the first Scott Brown song I listened to as well. What music genres they produce? So Wolfgun kinda doesn't, like, explicitly tries not to be in a genre, but it ends up mostly being drum and bass, and also some amount of like house and techno and stuff. Aviate is hardstyle, specifically euphoric hardstyle. Hydraulic again just does like too much, like a bit of everything pretty much. Tally Hall is like basically just a rock band pretty much. Scott Brown, like Bub said, is happy hardcore and like a bit into like gabber and stuff. Oh, Protodome. Scott Brown's song is Fade Away. I don't know that one by name, I don't think. I hated it. Oh, no problem. I'm very happy to talk about all of my hyperfixations in excruciating detail. So, don't test me. Protodome is fantastic. He does like chiptune jazz. It's wild. It's really good. Hello, Valence 7. Fancy meeting you here. This will be on the test later. It will. Yeah, in a year I'll be testing you all, and if you don't pass, I'm banning you. So, have fun sitting with that. I'm trying to remember. I didn't rehearse this, so I don't remember, like, how many lines each slide is. If you ban me, I will have to. Yeah, Joe, at my 1-year anniversary, you'll be taking a test based on this presentation. And if you don't pass, I'm banning you from the channel. Have fun. Also, like, for legal reasons, this is a joke. I don't want to confuse anybody. Ratio plus cry about it lol plus skill issue plus no feet. Yeah, this is an open book test, don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't remember how many lines each slide is, so I'm just, at some point I'm just gonna be surprised. Like, okay. Deco Nina, also great. Mostly Vocaloid, rock artist from Japan. Just really great style. I have a lot of very nostalgic memories with some of his albums. I say some of his albums with literally just I My Elegy. Font is based. Thank you. It's Perfect VGA DOS, I think is the name of it. Yeah, Dequanina is so good. I do love Dequanina a lot. And I think this next column is gonna be sort of the same thing with albums. So, yeah. Ergosphere by Darius is like my favorite album of all time. It's all like spacey new jazz and ambient in like the perfect ratio. And it's wild. It's such a ride. I love it so much. I've loved it since it came out, like a long time ago. And it's free. So, yeah. The perfect ratio, plus wild, plus such a ride. Next is another favorite, Floating Rooms by June Lalonde. It was like the first album on Bandcamp that I paid more than the minimum because I thought it was worth that much. It is so good. Basically everything I'm listening here is so good. Floating Orams. Oh my god, you know what? I never thought I'd meet another June Lalonde stan. Taking us to listen to these, never heard of them, however the way you describe them, they seem really cool. Well, they are. They are very cool, and I think you should listen to them. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Hello, Wild. You made it. You're here. It's Cam, everybody. Oh, where was I? Was it Amogus? Nice. I almost legitimately called it Amogus like that was the name of the game. Is Among Us VR out now, and is it good? Not that I would like play it because I don't have VR anyway. Oh no. Only get a TV head on Amogus. When I don't know. Do have VR at least. Well, next week it's out. I feel like getting a Quest would be a good investment if I jailbroke it. Because like they're super cheap for what they are, but like Meta sucks. The Quest 2 is what you have. Oh yeah. That is the one that like everyone freaked out about how good it was, right? Meta do be sucking. That's true. Rift S. There's also like the people really liked the Vive when it came out as well, right? And it'll also be like no feet. A special treatment from Mr. Facebook himself. I don't like putting that in quotes. I don't like that what that implies at all. This dude works great hooked up to Steam. Yeah, that seems like it tracks. Valvenic's probably top of the line. Wait, what special treatment? That's what I'm saying. Now that implies you don't hate the idea. I don't, and I'm scared. Yeah, I would expect Guac on 3000. Oh no. I hate those words in that order. I hate that I've been exposed to that combination of pixels on my screen. Yeah, I would expect the Valve Index to be good. I'd be surprised if it wasn't, because Valve has tended to actually make like really good hardware, but like until the index, no one cared about it. Like, the Steam controller was like, I mean, my main source on this is the videos about Steam, about like the Steam control and Steam input from like Nerl, but it seemed like it was like really impressive and like actually pretty damn good, but like no one bought one. Indexed on D's? Who's Steve Jobs? Alright, my chat has devolved into Guac and Ligma. So, who the hell is Steve Jobs? Anyway, I forgot what the next album on this list was. Demon Days. God, it's such a good album. It's such a good album. I'm upset that Gorillaz has never made a good album since then. I'm kidding, of course. But also, like, I don't actually much enjoy any Gorillaz albums after Demon Days. And, like, the self-titled album, I have appreciated that more recently. But it's still not as good. You can see me throw my head back when I drink. That's cool. I don't know why I'm surprised by that. Believe from Disturbed. There are no. Listen, this is fine. This is immeasurable and my day is ruined. Honestly, same. Believe from Disturbed is another fantastic record, and apparently, like, the reaction to this record is like that it kind of sucks, and I don't get it. Because like all the reasons that people say it sucks either are not true, or like are the reason why it's really fucking good and the best record they've made. Because for some reason, some like criticism I've seen of it is like, oh, it sounds the same as their last record, but like it doesn't. It sounds completely different. But then also that like they don't want David singing, but like the huge range of like the tones that he produces on the record is like one of the reasons why it's so good. Is that the one Planet Creation? No, that is 10,000 Fists, which is one of the first CDs I ever got. That's a CD you give a child. Sound the same as an issue. Why? It's not. Well, it isn't, but I can see why people wouldn't want that. And I can see why after a while having all the same sound can be pretty unfortunate. But I don't know, consistency is good, but also variety is good too. It depends on what you're looking for. Next on the list, Splendor and Misery by Clipping. God, I love this one. I love all of these. I keep saying that for everyone, but it's because it's true. For the uninitiated, sci-fi space opera about the slave trade. Just made an audible gasp. Have you discovered I'm based? Clipping? Clipping what? Incredibly based. Thank you very much. I am, as the kids said in the peak Death Grip SoundCloud days, I am indeed a true patrician. Except that most of the music I listen to is like super generic rave music, so not actually. I can cut deep, but I don't do it often. So now we're on to the second slide in this. I told you this was the longest part. of this entire presentation. Have fun! Story 2 is wild. It took me a very long time to even wrap my head around what it does. Music is life. It's so true. It really is. So these are sort of the same deal as before with individual songs. Despite all of like that super deep cut and super like intense EDM stuff that I've been listing before, this is my favorite song. It's super chill. It's Gemini by Dixie Flatline. I love it. It's so soft. This goes back to my point of liking cute things. Like, this is so nice. This song is so good. Talking about music continued is such a mood, though. It really is. This is me every day of my life. Gemini is quite good. I think I've first decided, like, yeah, this is my favorite song, because sometimes like you need a bit of coaxing to really come to that realization. I think I first realized this when I listened to literally only this song on repeat for like 3 days while I was doing like a stone carving thing with like a family friend, a now late family friend. Just one of those days. And another favorite is A Quick One While She's Away by Giraffes. This, I think, was the top of the list before Gemini. It's a bit of a math rock ditty. And again, it's just really quaint and soft and nice, and I really like it. It's just such a pleasant thing to listen to. Like, for a while, whenever I was like feeling like really tense and like really upset, I would put this on, and usually in one listen it'd get me all calmed down and back on my usual bullshit, I guess. How quaint. Yes, it's very quaint. I do like it a lot. A Million Stars by Cyber. This is going back to all that old cool rave shit again. This is some good euphoric card style. Cyber does a very good job of all his melodies and his kick design. There's a sound. I probably like sent it around on Discord before. Although I don't think I was in like the same circles I am now back when I first heard it. Bring all this up for later. Good. You should do that. Work Hard Styles W. Yeah, good channel. Yeah, whoever takes on the task of listening to all of these, you've got a lot of time to burn. Because I feel like this might take a while to go through everything I'm recommending. Especially because I think A Quick While She's Away is like 9 minutes long. Because math rock. Wait. I'm waiting. Cyber might sound familiar. It is a dictionary word. But I've sent a bunch of cyber stuff around all sorts of places, so if you've ever interacted with me before, which I know you two have, you've likely seen me post cyber at some point. Math Rock is really good. Got the entire discography of Tool. Yeah, you're right. Do you guys listen to Tool? I listen to Tool. I actually don't listen to that much Tool, all things considered. Like, I basically just listen to, like, their big singles. I tried Fear Inoculum. It wasn't for me, really. 55 Days of Static. That name is familiar. Fear Inoculum is that's what I've heard, is that, like, it's just kinda... I'm not gonna say it's bad. That'd be mean. But I am gonna say that after the wait between 10,000 Days and Fear Inoculum, I would have expected more. It's fine. Alright, next on the list. Fallen by Technicore and Mob. I have gone off about this song before. Likely in places where people like Bup and Valence could see. Where... not a note or fader of this song is out of place. Not an automation lane is mistreated. Like, I'm not gonna say this is a perfect song. I don't think such a thing even exists. You can always find fault in anything. But for this specific song, you could not make it better without just changing the song itself at a fundamental level. And you check out this music. Hello, Rave Spectre. I have seen you many places, such as posting memes on Reddit and Twitter. How are you? I don't think I've ever spoken to you directly before. I've seen you around in several servers, or at least one. But it's a pleasure to see you here. Technicore based? Technicore is based. At some point I posted the song of Technicore and was like, how do I make a bass like this? And someone was like, it's Technicore. You could never do that. That's why it's so good. It's because it's Technicore. I am well. I was very nervous to start out, but I have fallen into the role quite well, I feel. At least for a first stream. I'm not gonna be too... what's the word I'm looking for? Too generous as to how well I'm doing. But I don't feel like I'm doing bad. Oh my god, Cat. Tell Cat I love. Tell Cat good, Cat. 2 viewers for the price of 1. So true. You're doing fantastic, thank you. I don't know how to accept praise still. I'll figure it out. You didn't even do a PowerPoint. Listen, I gotta hit all the notes. I gotta get all of my VTuber streamer points. I gotta get all my credit now, because I'm never gonna play a game that people want to watch. I will do a notepad presentation. You don't need that sarcasm indicator. I know you're telling the truth. And next on this, Relect featuring Kane Asaba, Into the Sky. This just holds a special place in my heart, because to break character, as I will do often, because like I've mentioned, this character is just a framing device for cool aesthetic and character design. But when I graduated my university, what I got as a graduation gift was being at the helm of a glider for half an hour. And I did listen to Into the Sky before piloting that. And it was quite nice. It's something that I'll never forget. And it's a great story to tell, because I get to go on and specify that despite having logged flight hours, I can't drive. Snowflake by Iran. I don't think I've listened to that one. But I have listened to Iran before, and Iran is great. Just cut the wings of the plane, easy. I mean, sure, but gliders aren't powered, so you wouldn't be going anywhere. If this might be the end of the slide, I might be surprised by a new line jump scare. No, we're on to favorite anime. So, Is the Order Rabbit is an excellent one. I have watched this innumerable times with one of my friends, to the point where, like, we didn't even have to, like, really watch it, but we just knew it was happening. Bunui, correct. Also up there is Yudu Camp, for same reasons as Is the Rabbit. It's just such a nice, comfy watch. I do like a lot. Paragraph sign jump scare. It's just such a nice thing to vibe with. I also have the official soundtracks for these on CD on my shelf. The movie, I need to see the movie, but I haven't seen it yet. Isn't it like it out, but then also just not translated yet by anyone, including fan subbers? It's like some weird thing. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with the Eurocamp movie. Next anime is Ghost in the Shell, which I watched for a school assignment. And it was really good. I actually really liked it. I think that it's a fantastic work. I have not seen any of the follow-ups. I've heard Standalone Complex is good. That's all I really know. Apparently, not much else Ghost in the Shell is that great. I watched the original. I have not seen Standalone Complex, although I've heard that it's nice. And I have not heard that anything else Ghost in the Shell besides the original and Standalone Complex are that nice. And, I honestly don't watch that much anime. I'm sorry, I lied to you. Like, I do love it. But, like, I watch 2, like, a year at most these days. Same. It's one of those interests. I really love it, and it's influenced a lot of my work for, like, basically every aspect of things that I, like, make. Obviously, you're looking at an anime thembo. But, like, do I watch it? Fuck no, I don't. Which thus brings us to the next slide of favorite games, which actually has things on it, and I didn't lie to you this time. Me. So true. I found my people. So some of my favorite games include Metroid Prime, my peak favorite game. I've played it so many times. Its 20-year anniversary is coming up next week. I'm very excited for that. Please say Spider Solitaire. I'm sorry, Klondike's just better. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. Klondike is just better solitaire. Spider kinda sucks a little. Oh, don't you Klondike Lamau me. You know I'm right. That's fired, yep. I'm dying on this hill. I don't care if I get cancelled for it. Klondike Solitaire is better than Spider Solitaire. The slowest 3-draw in the East. Listen, I only play 3-draw Vegas. That's the only way to play. I'm just kidding, I don't play Vegas. I do play 3-draw though. So surprisingly, Solitaire is not on this list. Like, I'm sorry to disappoint, but it's not there. But next is Doom 1993. I'm doing a great job of assuading the boomer allegations. Please say Minesweeper. Minesweeper is good. Like, just this year, I finally beat an expert board for the first time. I'm smart. I have a high IQ. I can recognize all those patterns. Color base, you can't get more base than these two games. Well, you can. Makes it even more sense why you like LGR. Yeah, I'm being a bit on brand. High IQ god. And obviously, given the God is Coming intro that I had planned, weirdly, I've not played Dusk, or Iron Lung, or Squirrel Stapler. So, I don't know why I made a David Zemansky reference. Besides the fact that I watched like Jolly Wankor play Squirrel Stapler, and it was real funny. And honestly, that's reason enough for me. Yep, I'll wear a band shirt, and I've never listened to them. I'm kidding. I wouldn't wear a band shirt. They ruin it with their boomer heart. How dare you? I don't know. I like Ruminate better. You should have kept it that way. Stream Iron Lung, but failed. I didn't know you could fail at Iron Lung. That's how much I know about David Zemansky games. Next on the list is the East series. I couldn't pick just one. I could not pick just one East game. Although I will pick 8 anyway. I played Doom when she was 3, let that faucet in. I don't want to say I was 3, but I was quite young, actually. $8 Crash. Yeah, that sounds about right. Much Crime is an amazing soundtrack. It really does. I do have a rip of that on my MP3 player, not my phone, because I have a dedicated MP3 player. I'm that kind of person. I have a FIO X1 for anyone who watches Dank Pods. Yeah, the East series is really good. It's one of those series that I got into because I just was really interested in the game's history, because I noticed that, like, I think I saw East, the DOS port of East, on like an abandonware site, and I was like, huh, that seems just esoteric enough for me to play. So I did, and I think it literally just broke, and I couldn't actually progress to the end of the game. But I did get close. And then I think I like saw that it was like still a running series, and I thought, huh, I wonder how the games have changed over time. So I played every East game. And now I really like it. Book 1 holds a special place in my heart, but I think 8 is probably my favorite. But I will be playing the entire series on stream at some point over a long time, probably. So we'll get to see if that holds out. As it falls on, I was like, so do I. I also have that. I've used it. Actually, I think you gave it to me. Breath of the Wild. Very much a great game. It is, like, when I was first thinking about getting a Switch, I was not at all interested in Breath of the Wild. I wasn't sure what I would be interested in it for, but I didn't really want to get Breath of the Wild at first. I thought, I was like, I wasn't sure, because I didn't, like, super enjoy Zelda games before. Like, I played Ocarina of Time, and it's good. I'm never gonna say Ocarina of Time is bad, but like the highest rated game of all time, really? I don't think I agree with that. It's like, it's good, and that's all I'll say about it. And my favorite previously Zelda game was Wind Waker, because I am cool, I guess. But I'm not entirely sure what it was that actually got me to pick up Breath of the Wild. I think it was a lot of the talk around it, of how it was like a really free open world, and that sort of game really attracts me. But it was so good. It was like really good. Something just fall. I think I'm just seeing things. I'm hallucinating. But like I loved it like instantly. And now it's one of my top favorite games. So is Majora's Mask. I've played that recently, and it is really good. I've gotten much deeper of an appreciation for some of the Zelda games that I didn't quite enjoy as much before. I thought it stopped being good, and I didn't try to compare it to other Zelda games. That's sort of one of the reasons why I actually wanted to pick it up, I think, is that it was like not a Zelda game, really. I mean, obviously it is, and it follows the design principles of the NES Zelda game, if I recall correctly. But like, it's so open and doesn't follow the formula in nearly the same way. And yeah, that's what really drew me into it, and that's why I really enjoyed it, I think. Is that it was not adhering to that formula that kind of got old on the first game, quite frankly. Yeah, I've grown more fond of the other Zelda games. I quite liked Majora's Mask. Ocarina of Time, I enjoy it more as a randomizer, honestly. But Wind Waker I still like, although I do also play that more often as a randomizer now, because I mean, you can actually replay a randomizer, and it's like a new experience, kinda, every time. But like, it takes a while between replays of one game for it to feel fresh in that same way. Now play those. I mean, you should. I'm not gonna say you shouldn't. You should give things a try if you're interested in them. But like, also, don't let Breath of the Wild set your expectations, because the games are not even close to the same. Next on the list is Tetris Effect, which I mentioned during the music slides when I mentioned Hydelic. Tetris Effect is... I kind of think of Tetris as like... I said before that like there's no such thing as perfect. Except Tetris might be the most perfect game that exists. It's not my favorite game, but it is like, there's nothing you can change and improve about it without fundamentally changing how the game is on like a base level. And I think that Tetris Effect is like the prime like conjurance, I guess, of Tetris. It's certainly my favorite version. It's like the first game that I ever looked at, like, man, maybe like high refresh rate, high resolution HDR graphics are a good thing. Tetris is an insane level of precise polish, yes. The Tetris company may not do everything good, but their stranglehold on how Tetris games have to be formatted does have some benefits, turns out. But also, please nerf 3 wide stacking. It's actually insane. Next up, we're on to genres. Metroidvanias, you might be able to guess from the fact that my favorite game is Metroid Prime that I do enjoy a nice Metroidvania. I've played many at this point, and I sort of have a personal goal of like every Metroidvania I play I want 100%. I don't know why I do that to myself, but I do. I think that's a fun thing. Huge. Yeah, these games are huge. And next on my favorite genres is shoot, gun, click on the enemy gamer. I do enjoy a game with shooting. I feel like by playtime that might be the game I play the most. Although it probably is not my most played game by like volume in my library. But most of my time playing games is playing games where you click on the enemy gamer and you do the shoot good, and often I'm really bad at them. If shoot gun click on enemy gamer is so good, why don't they make shoot gun click on the enemy gamer too? Yeah, I agree. Fuck video games. Next up is, I do like puzzle games beyond just like, I don't know what like specific kind of puzzle game you would call games like Tetris. Beyond those kind though, I actually enjoy the other kinds of puzzle games a lot more. Games like Portal and like Cosmic Express. Other ones that are just escaping my mind right now. But like, of those sort of like arcade style puzzle games, Tetris is like the only one I actually like. I've tried to play like Puyo, and I hate it. I really don't like it. I'm not good at it at all. I can't wrap my head around formatting combos. I just don't understand. My brain is too small. I would kill to watch you do... And the guide's accents here. I've never heard of that. Antichamber is really good. Antichamber, Manifold Garden, which I have not done like the insane, wild, no god cube run of it. It looks fucked up. But yeah, those sorts of like big brain puzzle games as opposed to like pattern recognition and reaction puzzle games, except Tetris. Antichamber is so goated. I remember when Antichamber was like vaguely new, and it was like, games can do this? What? I do like a rhythm game. I don't play them very often, but I do quite like them. I used to play Osu a lot, and then I stopped. Because it turns out the Osu community kind of sucks a little. I have Project Diva Megamix on Switch. I have a DDR dance pad that I have not really used extensively. I think I've used it once, but I have it in case I want to play DDR. Back when Guitar Hero was the thing, I played that, and I tried Clone Hero before I got a new PC, and like it kind of fucked up in weird ways, and I never tried it again. You have all the Project Diva games. There's like a lot of those, isn't there? Natsune Michael. Yeah, the CEO of Domino's Pizza. Yes. I also like any like interesting games. Like games that you even might not consider to be like traditionally good. If there's something interesting about them, I will probably really like them. Which leads me on to, there are no good or bad games. There are only interesting and uninteresting ones. Like, Superman 64 is hilarious. It's so funny. It is an incredible game. And there's an interesting story to be told about it, as well as all the funny shit you can do. E.T. is uninteresting. It's just boring. It's just a boring game with not actually a story. Like, I believe the one is like, oh, this game was so bad that it got buried in life. Like, that's just like, I'm pretty sure that's mostly apocryphal. Like, it did get buried. I'm pretty sure they found the cartridges, but it's just because the market crashed, and it's not. And ET didn't crash the market. It's just a boring game in the middle of a huge sea of boring games, which is why the market crashed, because there was no quality control, and games were being made in like 2 months. There's that game. It's called Monopoly. Yeah, that's true. Any game that has some thing of interest to share is quite good in my book. You can learn from any interesting media, even if it doesn't like play that well. There are often things you can pull from to learn. Like, one of my go-to examples probably is PN03 on the GameCube. Like, if I recall correctly, it didn't review that well. And playing it is a little rough, but it has style for days. And that makes me love it, even though it's a little bit of a pain to play sometimes. Yeah, they literally did find the land for utility cards, because, like, what else are you gonna do with them? Like, the market's crashing. Games aren't being sold. What are you gonna do? Keep them? Oh, that's valuable storage space. Alright. The next slide are my dislikes. Don't use these against me. Please. I beg of you. Horror games? Horror movies? I don't like them. There's literally a reason why I did not debut in October. Like, this was planned. I skipped the spooky month on purpose. Use it against you. Noted. No! Yeah, I don't like scary things, and I don't like being scared. My idea of a cool spooky month is not Silent Hill. It's like Doom and House, that Japanese horror film that's like not actually scary and is like actually one of the funniest things I've ever watched. I don't like being scared. Some people do, and I don't understand them. They scare me. I also don't like cantaloupe. I hate cantaloupe. Cantaloupe is the worst, and you can fight me about it. Don't you being scared? Well, good for you. You can enjoy that all you want. You are scared, yes. Almonds inside of watermelon are bled. True. True facts. You understand. You will fight me? Do it. I'd like to see you try. I wouldn't like to see you try. Please don't hurt me. I also don't like... I don't like the Souls games. I don't like them. I don't like them. I've tried them several times and I don't like them. Although, well, I've tried Dark Souls 1. I have tried it like 3 times. And I bounced off it every time. I have heard that people who don't like Souls games might like Elden Ring. I've also been told explicitly to my face that I would not like Elden Ring, and I don't know which one to believe. What about Dead Space? Is that one too scary? I've played Dead Space and yeah, that's too scary. Dead Space is too scary. Fear is too scary, and Fear isn't even that scary. They're 10,000% off for everyone. That is true, and I am fully aware of that. Which is why I'm telling everybody I don't like them, because I like people to hate me, I guess. Dark Souls, when they get their humanity restored. I don't know, never played it. Elden Ring is cool if you like the challenge of Souls games and want open world experience. The thing is that I enjoy a hard game, but for some reason, like, I just can't vibe with the specifically with Dark Souls, and I'm not entirely sure what I think it's just how sort of, I guess, flippant the developers are towards the player. Like, I mean, that's not the right way to phrase it. I know that, but it's how the developer specifically treats the player in trying to learn what the game wants from them. Because, like, there are things, like, in all 3 of my playthroughs. Well, I don't think the first one, or maybe it was the second one. I don't know at this point. But, like, one of the things that made me bounce off Dark Souls is that it didn't, like, guide me in the way that I needed it to. And I'm not sure exactly how much that's my fault versus the game's fault, but it still made me bounce off it, so I'm gonna blame the game. Oh, welcome back, Egus Begus. My stream is going quite well. I've gotten quite comfortable in my chair here. In my gamer streamer throne. I guess, hell yeah. The main thing is that I got to the gargoyles and I just couldn't do it. I could not do it. But also, like, I couldn't do it as in, like, the strategy that worked and got me like pretty far in the fight one time wouldn't work the next, and I wouldn't know why. But then I was talking about it to someone, and he told me that, like, yeah, you're meant to use your humanity and summon and summon someone there. But like, the game taught me, explicitly or not, to like save my humanity and to not use it. So like, what do I do? And then I was also told that like that's definitely not what they intended, but I don't know who to believe, and that just makes my frustrations worse. I'm glad you understand, because the last thing I would want to do is to just like make like shit on some franchise that people really like, from like, well, that was mean. Sounds like I had some bad advice. I mean, I guess. Like the lack of, well, there's not a lack of lore. There's actually like way a lot of lore. And it's the thing is, the lore is very much delivered in the same way that Metroid Prime did it, and I really liked how they did it. And one jump scare is kill a boss with 1,000,000 health, and you instantly die when you get hit. Oh no. My mortal enemy. Yeah, there's a lot of lore that's not explicitly told to you, and that's fine. I enjoy that I can choose whether or not to engage with the lore. I think that's a cool thing, and I liked that Prime did that because it made learning the lore a lot more of like an active experience, and made me a lot more invested on exactly what was happening. But that wasn't my problem with Dark Souls either. And next up, more video game opinions. Bad procedural generation. I played Warframe. This is all that game was. Like, I really appreciate when developers will have an authored experience for their players. And like, so they can design an encounter to give a specific experience. And you inherently can't do that with procedural generation. But like, games keep using it. And it gets really boring really fast. Like I mentioned, I played Warframe. Every single mission in that game is procedurally generated, so they all feel exactly the same. Like, what grinding or crafting materials and progressing in the story in Warframe feel exactly the same, which made me stop playing Warframe. Hope you played Daggerfall then, considering procedural generation. Oh, I know about the procedural generation Daggerfall. I know that they make dungeons you can't finish, or that you can get stuck in. I think that's hilarious. And I probably will play Daggerfall anyway. It's that game's history thing again. I just think it's really interesting. And what's next? Oh, that's it. Okay. So now we're on to my goals. I get to do the goal slide like all the other cool streamers. So what do I want to do with this channel? Gotta head again. Bye-bye, Bigus, once again. Have fun doing whatever it is you're going to do. So my goals for streaming here is I want to share what I love with people. That's the only that is the main thing that I do. That's why I share anything that I've ever done. I've never really done it for recognition per se. Like, obviously, when you share something, people have to see it or else it hasn't been shared. But, like, I don't do it to see number go up dopamine. I don't even necessarily do it for money, although money is nice, and you do need that to live in capitalist society. I just want to share the things that I love with people. I make what I love and I want to share that with people. And I want to learn about what other people love as well. I don't want this to be a one-way street. I want things in as much as I want to push things out. That sounded weird. We're just gonna move on. And I also want to provide something unexpected. Because I mentioned near at the top that I will probably not play many games that would get me viewers. I explicitly want the things that I stream to be sort of unique to me and things you don't generally see in the VTubing space. Because, I mean, there's not really a because. I just think that a lot of the things that I enjoy go, in a sense, underrepresented. Specifically in this sort of sphere. And I want to share that. And I want to expose people to things that they maybe didn't consider before. Maybe they didn't even know it existed. And I just think that that would be a cool thing to do. And that's it. That's my whole spiel. Based goal. Unique surprises. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you understand. I for some reason that sentence kind of felt like I was like threatening you. I'm so glad you've come over to my side. Now you get to keep your kneecaps. So yeah, that's all that sort of. You can have my. I don't want your kneecaps actually. They I don't think they grow back. I don't think they actually do that. So now, I don't know. I don't know what to do now. What? The meat of the stream has been completed. We're an hour and a half through. I popped it out once. Oh dear. I don't like that. I hope you're okay. I hope it grew back. Did the time warp at a wedding? What a way to go. You have 16 kidneys, only 2 of which are yours. That's a lot of money. For legal reasons, this is a joke. Please do not sue me. Please do not come after me. Pick a kidney, any kidney. Where's kidney? We'll play 3-card Monty with kidneys. I don't actually know what 3-card Monty. I shouldn't have said that. Hit kneecaps. We've crossed the streams. So I think cross the what? Fucking never watched Ghostbusters? And oh. So, what do you guys want to do next? Do you have any questions, any comments, any concerns? Am I downloadable? I wouldn't try, but I can't say it can't be done. I'm upset by a disturbing lack of feet. Well, that's your problem. I'm concerned about my renal system. See a doctor. Oh no. Oh no. Up. Run. "15 seconds, that's long up. That's not long at all." Alright, I was thinking of closing stream with a game earlier. Like, and by earlier I mean like over the course of the past weeks of planning this. But I also don't know if I actually want to do that. I'm 100 meters from your location and rapidly approaching. Oh no. I was promised company in 15 seconds. Where are they? So I am actually out of water because turns out when I'm talking a lot, my mouth gets dry, and also when I'm nervous, my mouth gets dry. And I drank all this. So I think that I'm going to, at the very least, BRB. And at the most, I'll be back and we can do something else. Alyssa versus IBM Deep Blue at chess, I would super lose. I'm not great at chess. I do like it. It's another one of those games that I think it's like one of the most perfect games that exists. Much like Tetris. But like, I'm not good at it. Alright, I will away for a moment. Now fill up my water, and then we can do other things. And I don't know what those things can be. I return a belated goodbye to Valence, because they left while I was not here. But I've got water to put in me, and I took water out of me. I'm still not sure what to do. Welcome back, thank you. I feel like this would be a good place to call it, but I don't know if I want to call it yet. I'm having a good time. But I also am not sure what else I would do. Up to my energy. I can do what I want. My stream. That's very true. And I don't know how to further react to that. About hyperfixation? Oh, where do I start? Things I want to play. I have an entire text file of things I want to play. I have a very big text file of things I want to play. And it's all organized and everything. I don't want to spoil too much. But also, I will see how much I am willing to share. Blip. There it is. But I've got this organized into full series playthroughs of series where I want to play every game, however long that may take. For some of these it may take a very long time. Because like there's a few of these that have multiple games that are not single stream games. At least they're not single stream games for me. Some people could do it. I don't know if I can. I have limits. I get tired quite easily at sometimes. Got full series playthroughs. There's individual games, just like one-offs. Obviously, not all these are gonna be single stream games, but I'll just like, oh, here's like one game that I want to play and share with you guys. And then there's perpetual repeat games, where it's like games that I can just play over and over, just from like their design. And that's stuff like, I mentioned Tetris Effect, that's on there. There's Projections, a game made by Wolfgun, who was mentioned earlier in stream under the music slides. There's a bunch of randomizers, particularly for, or specifically for the first two Metroid Prime games, Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker. Lupine Firearm, so true. There's just any given Doom mod, because that's definitely something that has provided Doom with a lot of longevity for me. Like, I love the base game, but I can only play it so many times. And having access to mods has certainly prolonged how long I can play that game and how many times I can play it. Those are on here. Metroid ROM hacks is also sort of a thing that I get into every so often. Those are on here. And then like the only two games I think on this list that are like super stream bait, Apex and Gundam. And I should define stream bait as like a game that like almost inherently will get you viewers. Like everybody plays these games and everybody streams these games mostly, and they're rather popular in the field. And there's nothing against people who play other stream bait games like Mogus, and there's probably other ones that I'm not even considering. Fall Guys definitely is a stream bait game. There's nothing against playing those. Obviously, I have 2 stream bait games that I enjoy on this list, but I also only want to play games I like. And not play games just because playing them will benefit me as a content creator. Because I want to have fun first and foremost. And if this isn't... if these games aren't any fun to play, ain't no fun at all. Although, I've not actually played Among Us, but I've played and watched other hidden role games, and I like those a lot better. Because it's something about, like, sort of the house rule of you can't talk unless you're in a meeting. Because I like to play mind games with people the whole time. And that's a lot harder to do without, when you can only communicate like every so often. Would I like it? I don't know. I've never tried, but it just doesn't appeal to me that much. Let's see, what else am I willing to share? I would like to stream a replay of Breath of the Wild when it's been long enough since my last playthrough that it feels fresh again, because I played through it relatively recently, which sort of makes playing it again a bit unappealing. There's a few games that I have not played yet that I would like to stream. And it's like Ultra Kill's on there, because every fiber of my being tells me that I'll enjoy Ultra Kill. Everyone who I've mentioned Ultra Kill to has said that I would like Ultra Kill, but I've not played it yet. I have not even really watched gameplay beyond like that one video that Civ 11 did of Ultra Kill before it released fully. So I'm trying to keep it a surprise, kinda. There's, unfortunately, Halo Infinite is on this list. And I say unfortunately because, oh boy, are they treating that game in a way. But I only want to play the campaign and not the multiplayer, and the multiplayer is the bad part. So I'm in the clear. I'm one of those weirdos who actually doesn't like the multiplayer part of Halo that much. I mean, it's good, and I definitely played the hell out of Combat Evolved multiplayer on PC back when, like, the original PC port, before there was a Master Chief Collection. I played a lot of that online. That might have been like my first online multiplayer game after like RuneScape. I do enjoy Halo multiplayer, but I enjoy the campaign more, and I feel like I'm weird for that, because I feel like most people sort of see the multiplayer as the prime Halo experience. Halo 4 had its 10th anniversary a few days ago. Halo 4 is completely fine. I played it, and it is cromulent. It is an acceptable and fun game. It is not interesting. And it looks a little bit uggo. Let's be real. But like, it's certainly not Halo 5. I can say that much. And that's sort of the most that I can say about it. Is that at least it's not Halo 5. Now let's see. I got Deus Ex, the original, for like $1. So I'll probably play that. There's some games that I've like started, but I have never finished them. And I figure that, you know what? Doing that on stream is a good incentive to like actually get entirely through these. That should make these fun, especially since, you know, I'd be starting over and it would feel going through a part of a game that you've already done in a race to get to where you left off sucks, and I hate it. But sharing that with other people is gonna make that a lot easier of a pill to swallow. Relatable, yeah. And you know, as for series, I definitely want to play. I already mentioned playing all the East games. That's something I want to do. That's something I'm probably going to start doing next week with the first book of East Chronicles, the remake that's on Steam. I would also really like to do a full playthrough of the mainline Metroid games. Probably not doing the like original versions of the games that have remakes. Like, I will play Zero Mission and Samus Returns over NES Metroid and Metroid 2 Return of Samus, probably. And I'll also play AM2R, but don't tell anybody. Don't tell Nintendo, because they'll have my head. Oh, goodbye, Bup. It's been nice having you. I'm definitely gonna play all the Doom games. Does Other M emulate well? I think it's listed as perfect compatibility on Dolphin. I think it is like the most compatible Metroid game on Dolphin, next to like Prime 1. Which is honestly really funny to me. Because I am a little bit of an Other M apologist. It's not great, by any means. But it plays extremely well. And the stuff that came out about the localization in the past few years really sort of reframes it as like, you know what, maybe this wasn't so bad. Maybe this was just fumbled on the way here. But also I'm pretty sure there are still some things that are like just not good about it, the story. So I'm gonna try to play all the Metroid games. I'm not sure how I'm gonna manage Prime 3. For the same reason Other M as well, because of the controls. And I don't have a way to capture my Wii yet. But I don't know how to emulate those games either. So that's it'll have to work out somehow. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do probably all the Doom games. Especially because there's like 5 of them. And because I got it like changed how the games are like organized on Steam. And one of the things is that like if you had like the original version of Doom 3, they gave you BFG edition. So I have free copy BFG edition. Oh, Yagi and Remy, hello. I have seen you guys stream before. I think we're ready to work. I'm doing well. Also, thank you, and I hope you have an excellent day at work and you have a good time. Yeah. So probably gonna play all the Doom games. And that's gonna be a good thing because I've not played BFG edition before. I'm not entirely sure all the changes that it made, but it will be an interesting thing to experience. And I'm probably also going to do the on the sort of same vein as like Doom and boomer shooters. Again, I'm not doing a great job of dissuading all the boomer accusations, but the build engine Holy Trinity, Duke 3D, Shadow Warrior, and Blood, that's gonna be a thing that I play, definitely. Those are excellent games, and I've not played Duke 3D in a very long time. And I very much enjoyed to get back to that. I'm probably gonna go through, like, not all, but a lot of the Mega Man games. Mostly in the sense of, like, most of the series, because I tried Battle Network, and it's okay. I thought it was fine. And I'm not gonna probably play it very much, if at all. Or Dusk earlier. I do have a slight interest in Dusk, but I don't know how interested I really am in it. Because, like, it certainly did a lot to really kick off the boomer shooter revival, especially with New Blood, who is the publisher. And they've been getting a lot of games published in that vein now. But Dusk, as its own thing, has never especially caught my interest. It certainly caught it more than Strafe, which was the like the boomer shooter revival that came before Dusk did the actual one. Because going back to bad procedural generation, that game is entirely procedurally generated, and it probably, if I recall correctly, it's kind of boring because of that, in the words of like reviewers. But yeah, Dusk doesn't really catch my eye all that much, but I do respect it. I think like the last full series playthrough I'm really planning is I'm gonna go through all or most of the core design Tomb Raider games, because I think that those classic games are really quite good. Some of them sort of wax and wane in quality a bit, which is kind of the general consensus of that series. But I really love how the old ones play, and I feel like they're a little bit in the shadow of the reboots now, because the reboots are these like cinematic third-person games that is like super consumer friendly, and like they sell all games like that sell a lot, and I feel like that sort of, especially with the whole reboot thing of like taking the name just Tomb Raider and using it over again, has sort of put the original games in a bit of a spot where I don't know if like I highly doubt they've been entirely forgotten. In fact, I know for a fact they have not been forgotten. And even in like the mainstream consciousness of the Tomb Raider series, I doubt that they have been fully eclipsed. I'm sure that there are people who still know about them and sort of can recognize them, especially since fucking like low poly triangle tits Lara is still kind of a meme. But I feel like that whole original series should get a bit more recognition over the reboots, because the original series does interesting things and the reboot series doesn't do interesting things, quite frankly. The reboot games, I own all 3 reboot games now. I got I think it was, I got Shadow for free. I got the original for like $4, and I got Rise for also on sale for like $4. And I played the first 2, and they are like they are well-oiled machines. They are exactly as engaging as they need to be. They are highly polished, and that's all I can say about them. They are not memorable, they are just lowercase f fun. Lara, I can do this. Croft, she can do this, you know. So that's sort of an overview of my quasi long-term plans for what I want to do with this sort of VTubing project. And there's like stuff, this is just a list of games. I don't know what else I want to do. I'll probably do all number of other things. At some points I'll do like chatting streams like this. I'll probably do like art and design streams. I'll probably do production streams. It's just nothing. Just all sorts of stuff. But getting a list of games sorted is probably like the most planning needed thing for this. So yeah, like, thank you. I'll do those at some point. I don't know when, but I will. It's definitely because like art, I don't do it that often. Usually nowadays I'll do art if I have a purpose to do art. I used to just do a lot more drawing just for fun back when I was still in university, because I had the time and I had classes to ignore. But now I'll usually only draw if like it will take a lot to get me to just draw something for fun, for the sake of just drawing. And if not just that, I'll usually have like a thing I want to use it for. So doing drawing and design stuff is a little bit of a rarity, and I don't know how often I do that. And basically, of all the times that I would have used to like do drawings, is now when I do music. So those would probably be more often. But there's this weird situation where like I don't, except for like, again, things that have a use and like a utility for my streams, I don't exactly plan to make music for Alyssa. So I'd be like making stuff for my actual main music alias, which is a little odd. But then there's also like the caveat of like, I don't care that much about like separating identities much. Like, obviously, don't send pizza to my house. That's fucked up. Unless you want to pay for it. But also don't do it even then. And like, don't call me by my actual name on streams. That's also weird. But there's only so much that I can do to sort of like fully pry these two, at this point kind of three parts of my life apart. Like, there's only a limited number of things that link Alyssa and my other projects together that I can or am willing to purge from the internet. So it's sort of just like, at some point, there will be pieces to put together. So why should I even bother really hiding all that much? Line separation definitely it is extremely complicated, which is why I'm simplifying it to like, I only care so much. Like, if you find my music alias, okay, that's cool. I don't care. And like, there's some places where like I am literally referred to as both by the same people at the same time. And it's just like, it's one place. And so like, what do I do? If you find yourself there, cool, you found the secret treasure that is a different thing I go by online. Congratulations. Now what? Right? But then also, like, on the other hand, I don't know if I want to explicitly share it either. So much as like, oh, it's an open secret, right? You probably see my face. I haven't even bothered searching any deeper into you than like, oh, you're on a Discord that I'm also on, because I'm not weird. I don't like Google foo people like that. But yeah, I guess I'll mostly keep it an open secret, as opposed to like trying really hard to hide it, but also, or like very actively acknowledging it. So I'll probably do production streams while I'll work on music for my main alias, but then also like, I'm not gonna share it when it's done, right? And I'll just leave like connecting the dots as an exercise to the viewer at most, right? If that makes sense. Just, yeah, that's fair. All right, I've been going for nearly 2 hours and 15 minutes. I don't know if I expected it to go that long or not. Because I was there for Yagiriku's debut, and that went on for like an hour and a half of just a presentation. That was longer than I expected. So I was like, yeah, this could go on for longer. But then I also didn't actually conceptualize like, oh, this is going to go on for longer. So I was fun chatting away. It is. I'm having a good time. This is a brand new experience for me, and it's cool. But hello again. You're back for the third time. Egus Begus. Kept you cool. You did a good job, especially for a debut. Thank you. I tried my best. I missed entirely because it's longer than expected. Oh no. Well, you're here now. I did have a great debut, and I killed it. Wow, that's violent. I very much appreciate the kind words, everybody. Sounds like a fun time all around. It certainly is. And I get to do this again tomorrow. At least that's what my schedule says. Except I haven't released it, so I could just not do that. I could be lying to you right now. I'm not lying to you right now. I'm gonna stick to that. I'm gonna try to be consistent about Saturdays and Sundays. Time is... I picked 6:30 because if I ever chose to stream on a weekday, it would have to be then because I work full-time. And that's just like when I can guarantee that I'll be back home to stream. So just to not think about it, I was like, alright, any weekday stream is gonna be 6:30. And then I just sort of carried that over to weekends as a test. Just to be like, I don't want to think about it too hard. So we'll just see how it goes at this time. And, I mean, this worked out pretty well. It was a bit late in the day, but... I don't know, it gives me plenty of time before I get, like, too tuckered out to continue. Like, we've been going for 2.25 hours, and it's not all that late. Like, usually I would go to bed at like 11 or something, because I'm apparently like the only person in the VTuber world who has a normal sleep schedule. I have got a great foundation to build. Thank you very much. So 6:30 was just sort of an arbitrary time to do weekends. I might push that around a little bit, but definitely gonna try to have weekends be consistent days. Time gonna be fudged for a while until I find something that works for the weekends. Weekdays, I'm gonna try to stream on next Friday, because that's the 20th anniversary of Metroid Prime, my favorite game. So I'm going to stream Metroid Prime Randomizer at 6:30 Friday, and I'm gonna see how that feels, how streaming on a weekday feels, if that's too much for me. Yeah, sleep schedules are kind of rough. I definitely had not a great one in university, at least for the first one. I actually got on a relatively consistent sleep schedule, like in my last couple years there. I managed to sort of roughly force myself into sleeping 8 hours a day at a reasonable time. Ooh, so much. As much as possible. Thank you. You did a phenomenal job on your first stream. Baby, thank you. My god, you're proud of me. Oh. 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 Guys. Guys. Getting verklempt. Overnight to help fix your sleep schedule. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but usually that doesn't work. Those sorts of cheats of like trying to like stay up or trying to make up for lost sleep. Though, as far as I know, those don't actually work. $10. Ooh. Youch. I have a morning shift, which I enjoy working in the morning because I like all my free time to be later in the day. It makes me feel a lot less stressed and on a timer. Because I don't want to have to worry about like, oh, am I gonna finish this before I have to leave? Things like that. Not like having a sleep schedule, but like having a sleep schedule is good for you. That's the thing that people don't realize about sleep, right? Is that it is not necessarily about how long you sleep. Like with a lot of things with health, what's normal is different for just about everybody. Like 8 hours is I think the average and the recommended, but like the amount of sleep that you as an individual will need will vary. So it's not about how long you sleep. It is mostly about sleeping, getting to sleep at the same time and waking up at the same time every day. That, as far as I'm aware, is the highest boon to sort of your health. And that's why I tried to get onto sleep schedule later in university. It's a sort of get that sort of mental and physical health benefit from sleeping at the same time every day. And it worked. And I've been on a roughly consistent sleep schedule ever since. To sleep at 2 a.m., wake up at 8:30. Oh god. I'm so sorry. Oh no. That sounds like hell. Somewhat consistent sleep schedule, but I always need more. That's just that I always need sleep. You know what? That's understandable. Like I was saying, different people need different amounts of sleep. Maybe you just need a lot of sleep. Maybe you're just very tired. We were talking about something before. Oh, right, schedules. That's how we got there. Yeah, streaming weekends consistently, just like everyone else and their mother. Because turns out that's when people are free most often. And I'll try on the weekdays, see how that works out, see how I feel about that. I'll also try to stream on, maybe not on like the days of major holidays, but like I have Thanksgiving and the Friday after Thanksgiving off, so I'll likely stream on that Friday. So that sort of deal, like a non-major holiday that I have out off work. And that does mean that I'll be streaming uh Friday, Saturday, Sunday for 2 weeks in a row, but don't get used to it because I don't know what day would be best. And that if I do choose to stream on weekdays consistently, I don't know if I'll be able to have a consistent weekday to stream, because work can be busy or not, and there's not really a consistent day when it is busy, except like kind of Thursday for some reason. Sometimes Tuesdays are super quiet, sometimes they're just as bad as Thursdays. It's really hard to tell, and that does make scheduling for a weekday stream really difficult, because I have no idea when I'm gonna stay late. I have no idea when I'm gonna be too tired to stream that day. I gotta hope. Oh, this it's catching up to me. I'm getting eepy, getting a little tired. I think that in the coming minutes, I'm probably gonna call this stream. I didn't get to, or didn't, I chose not to end with a game like I thought I was going to, but like that's fine because I'm just gonna play a game tomorrow. That's all I'm gonna do. And I am also probably going to, I have my schedule for next week basically ready. I was going to post it Friday, but I definitely just forgot. So I will probably post that once I end stream, and we can know what the next week's gonna look like. I can tell you right now that tomorrow I'm going to be playing some chill Elite Dangerous. But also, I don't know how that's gonna work, because I might have to make a new captain. Because you can't change the name of your commander. I said captain earlier. I think it's commander. You can't change the name of your commander in Elite Dangerous. And I definitely made that commander before all this. And I don't know if that's going to involve making a new account with that entire company, or if I can just make a new commander, or what. But we'll find out, or I'll find out. And that's also sort of the first example of like, I'm gonna play games that, as far as I know, other people don't really play. Because I have not watched every VTuber. I don't think I ever will. I don't think anyone ever could. But I certainly haven't seen anyone stream Elite Dangerous, and I feel like there might be a reason. But it's a good chill game, it's a good podcast-ish game, and that's kind of what this is, right? It's all... I mean, I'll have niches, but I can't say that they're gonna be solid. I'm gonna play like every niche ever. Yeah, that's definitely my goal, is to play. I only want to stream what I like, because why would I do something I don't like? Why would I choose to do that? And like, as such, like, I mentioned this might be before you got here, but like, keep saying filler words even though I know exactly what I want to say. I want to do things that I enjoy and not play things that I don't want to play, even if playing those would benefit me explicitly. Because I want to have fun. Because this is a fun thing. Like, I'm employed. I have a job. I can get money. This isn't for money. This is because I want to do something fun. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna play Elite Dangerous tomorrow. And then Friday, to celebrate 20th anniversary of Metroid Prime, is a Metroid Prime randomizer. If you've never seen a randomizer, it's an experience. If you don't know what that is, it takes, for specifically Metroid, it'll take every like item in the game, every like health and ammo upgrade, every like progression major item, like a missile launcher or space jump, things like that, and it'll just randomize all their locations. So your path through the game is suddenly very different, and you might have to do things that you never had to do in the base game in order to progress. And if you're gonna be watching my randomizer stream without having seen or played the vanilla game, I'm sorry, because it's just gonna look weird. And you're also probably also not gonna understand all the things that are different, which makes it a bit less impressive. But that's what I want to do. So you have a week to research. That's your homework. And then on next Saturday is, I think, when I'm going to do the first part of my East series playthrough. I'm gonna do East Chronicles Book 1. I don't want to fail the next test. Well, you know what to do. I've given you your assignment. You didn't actually have to. I'm sure that you can get plenty of enjoyment from seeing the game randomized without having seen it originally. Because, like, I don't know, I watch speedruns of games I've never heard of, and I enjoy those. So, why not? Not to say that I'm even close to the level of a speedrunner for that game, because the speedrunner skill ceiling for Metroid Prime is fucking ridiculous. Like, I have trouble with a lot of, like, tricks in Metroid Prime randomizers that are labeled as easy. So, yeah, my level of play is not all that high, all things considered. Although at some point, now that I can stream and do all these cool things, I might at some point enter the randomizer I use for Metroid Prime and Prime 2 is called Randovania, and they have a Discord server that hosts occasional tournaments, and I might be able to get into a bracket on those at some point. I've not looked too deeply into the application process, but I do know that, like, one of the rules is that you, like, have to stream your playthrough. So now I can do that if I want to, and that seems exciting. So yeah, that's the next week, is Elite Dangerous, Prime Randomizer, and East Book 1. And I'm not entirely sure how, if East Book 1 will be one stream or two. If it's gonna be one stream, I'd have to start like 4 hours than I did. Possibly more. Likely more. because even the short East games are like 8-hour games from my playthrough times. So I'm willing to bet that East Book 1 is gonna be more than one stream, and I don't know when exactly I'm gonna get to the other ones. But that's one of the fun administrative tasks of VTubing, is deciding when you're gonna continue that game you started. Yeah, this has been a very fun and new experience. I can feel that, yeah. Oh, can't we all, I feel like. This has been a brand new experience for me. I have never actually streamed before, except for like in another life I did like DJ streams. Oh, that's another thing I could do. I don't know if I could do it on YouTube. Or commit. Yeah. I mean, all of these things that I want to play on stream are things I wanted to do anyway. So, I mean, it's easy to feel like, oh, I'm not overcommitting. I can quit whenever I want, right? But it feels like this is sort of like the same quote unquote workload that I would have had regardless. It's just I'm doing it through a slightly different format. So, and it's also just like, well, now I have like a reason to do it instead of like, oh, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, right? So yeah, it's easy for me to say I feel like I won't overcommit, but I feel like I won't overcommit. You know what I mean? Anyway, I think after 2.5 hours, the clock has turned. It is now 21, which is 9 p.m. I had to check. I don't know why I have everything set to 24-hour time. I basically always check what that actually translates to. But it's 9 o'clock. Generally, that means that I will go to bed in an hour. But that is not necessarily truly the case. But I think that I'm going to call it. Good night, Joe. It has been such a wonderful experience. Thank you for being here. This is new to me, and I very much enjoy it. Having a great time. I feel like I'm gonna have a great time tomorrow. And I hope I'll have a great time Friday. So thank you all for tuning in. Both those here and those who were here before. I am gonna go do other things that are not on stream.